What is up, boot campers? So I'm excited. I love doing these boot camps. It's kind of fun. A little intimate setting. We have some fun with these guys. So me and the beautiful Desiree DeBay are on. We're going to rock it today with some sponsoring. So I'd love for you guys to get a pen and paper out, get a messy pen and paper out. I always have my notepad here, which is actually in the other room because I was telling a story a second ago. But anyways, I'm Justin Avini, and I'm here to kind of support you guys and show you what sponsoring a coach looks like and why is that important to our business. And then we have the wonderful Desiree going to share, like, what are we looking for and how does that work? So sit back. Hopefully you got your water, your cup of coffee. I just said I got mine earlier. We're going to kind of fine tune this. I'm going to take some notes because I always learn from anybody and everybody too. So I'm going to share my screen here and we're going to rock and roll. We're going to dive into this. So give me 1 second and we'll let Desiree kind of take over, see how we rock this, man. So can you guys see my screen okay?
Yep.
Oh, where'd it go?
Man, I'm excited about how many people we have on. This is awesome.
Yeah, especially this far in. This is actually really good. Why is my screen not doing that?
Yeah, we can't see your screen anymore.
You can't?
Nope.
Oh, see, it was going too easy. I knew it was going to go too easy. Technical difficulties. Hold on 1 second, guys. Sorry about that.
Dang, check out Rob and Karen on right now.
Yeah, rocking and rolling, man. Okay. Can you guys see my screen?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. So I'm going to fix this. So we're going to let Des kind of rock and roll and take over. Why is it doing that? I guess it is what it is. Okay, Kurt. So go for it, Desiree. Take it away.
Okay, I'm super excited about this topic today because I know that this is probably one of the most challenging for some of us, especially us newer coaches when we're just kind of like, well, you know, we come up with all these different concepts. So we're going to really pave the way on how to sponsor and where to look when we're sponsoring. So one of the main questions we want to ask ourselves is, where are our clients? And also our coaches too, but for now, where are our clients at? We have 3 buckets to put them in. So we have a non-integrated bucket, we have an integrated clients bucket, and we have people that are ready to explore health coaching. So we have a bucket for that too. So starting out, like, how do we decide who goes in what bucket? So we have some examples below, and I really highly encourage you guys to take pictures of these slides so that maybe you're able to listen more than, you know, writing this stuff down. So for the not integrated clients, you know, people are going to give you clues. So the people that are on and off their program, they're really super struggling and always saying, oh, well, you know, I made it Monday through Friday, but then the weekend came, and there's always like a but, you know, but then this happened, that happened. So that's a good clue that these are not integrated clients. They're canceling the premier order, or they're moving it out. They keep pushing their orders out, and they're not answering your calls when you're calling them for their daily check-ins. And, you know, they're just kind of on and off, and you can tell the ones that are engaged and aren't. So our integrated clients, these are going to be the exact opposite, obviously. So this is going to be people that are in fat burn and they're excited about it. They're seeing results already. They're telling you even by day 2, day 3, I already feel lighter. Like, don't stand on the scale, but they're already feeling lighter and feeling better. You're going to see active clients that are posting in whatever their support site is. You're going to see people that are, you know, they are calling you back. They're calling you before you call them. They're showing you pictures of their lean and greens. Maybe they're posting pictures of their lean and greens, or they're even welcoming new clients into the support site, which is really fun to see too. And then so we have our third bucket, which is clients that are ready to explore health coaching. And we'll kind of dig into that in the next couple of slides here. Okay, so now we're going to start trying to move clients from bucket to bucket. So our not integrated clients, of course, again, these are the people that are on and off program. They're not really communicating well. They always seem to be struggling, and they're pushing out their order, or they're canceling their premier order. Of course, we want to really, you know, try to support them the best we can. Because remember, and I have no problem telling people that my job is literally to push you out of your comfort zone. if they don't want to be pushed out of their comfort zone, there's only so much we can do. But of course, we at least want to try, because that's what we promise them when we sign them up as clients. So our goal is to help them, take aim, help them go back to their why, remind them why they started. I've asked people directly, so and so, do you see yourself getting to your goal? Sometimes they will break down to you guys and tell you, maybe not. Maybe they're just so nervous. They're kind of setting themselves up for failure by kicking themselves out of fat burn, or, just so afraid of failure that they continually start and stop, start and stop. So these are the people we really want to build a relationship with and build a bond with. You want to go back real quick, Jay? Thank you. And so this is where we want to, try to move them forward, try to get them back, re-excited. Bring in a fresh voice, which is going to be your business partner. So, whichever coach either signed you up or sponsored you, or maybe a mentor coach if they're still new. So, and that's okay. So we want to make sure that we're bringing in a third party, get them re-excited, have them hear another person's perspective. And of course, we know the power of these three-way calls, because they're going to tell, the business partner everything that they're not telling us. Even if they tell us, oh no, I've been perfect on plan, they're going to, kind of tell on themselves. So we also want to invite them to community events. And you guys, I never call it community events. I just invite them to lunch, invite them to breakfast, invite them to coffee. Hey, I have a group of friends that are, going out to breakfast or coffee today. You want to come? And so it kind of gives them like a new group to be around, because don't forget, when you sit at a table of people that are in the same mindset as you, the conversation's different. And if these people are still, really digging their heels in, not really wanting to move forward with us, we got to give them the off the hook. And however you want to do that. But an example of something that I do is I just, I'll reach out. And if they're not answering my video messages or my, my phone calls and voicemails, I will just send them a quick text and say, hey, so-and-so, I've with my experience, I've always noticed that the people that stop responding, the people that kind of disappear, are the ones that might be struggling the most. So I'm here for you. Let me know what you need. I don't want to keep bugging you, but I'm here when you're ready. And I let them go. So go ahead to the next slide, Justin. Thank you. Okay. And then so our integrated clients, again, these are the people that are excited. These are the people that are in fat burn. They're, sending you pictures of their lean and greens. They're telling you that all of their friends are excited and asking them what they're doing. Hold on, slow down. So those are the people that, they're ready to talk about coaching. These are the ones that we want to talk to them about coaching, because they're already excited. So just a quick hint, you guys, we don't want them running off and telling everyone Optavia, they all call it Optavia, right? We want to slow them down a little bit, Optavia. And we want to let them know, hey, if you have, friends that start asking you what those funny bars are that you're eating, or start to notice your weight loss right away, or people just that might want to do this with you, let them know that this is the 5-in-1 Fat Burn program, and you can't wait to introduce them to your coach, because, they can explain this program a whole lot better, and get them excited with you. So that's just a quick hint real quick. So these are the people we want to move them into that next bucket, and, suggest health coaching, suggest, hey, maybe you might want to explore health coaching, because you have all these people asking you about this program anyway. And sometimes it says there in bold letters, we need to be bold. We need to be bold and just sometimes throw it out there to them. Let them see another perspective of themselves, because a lot of times people think, oh, wait, no, I'm not salesy. But we know that it's not about being salesy, because you can't sell people their health. They have to want it. But if you start to highlight them and, all of the great qualities you see in them as a person, they kind of start to see themselves in a different light. Like, man, maybe I am inspiring people. Hey, I am doing something out of my comfort zone already by sticking to this. And, I have my mindset on my goals. I'm excited. Maybe I can help other people do the same. Next slide, please, Jay.
It moved. That's the next slide.
Ah, did it? Okay, because I see scribbles, so I thought it was the same one. Okay, sorry guys. So we're ready to explore health coaching. So, we really want to share the full trilogy. Of course, even back in the beginning from their health assessment, we're going to start, kind of layering coaching. And you guys, here's a big clue too. If people during that health assessment bring up the fact that maybe financially they are either struggling, or maybe when we ask them what is your biggest area of stress, and they mention their their career or their job, whatever it might be, this might be a good opportunity to share the full trilogy, which we want to share the full trilogy anyway when we share our story, but maybe highlight the coaching opportunity and what it's done to bless your life. So now it's time to move the clients that are integrated into that, coaching bucket, people that are ready to explore it. So just some good hints too. You can start to let them know that they're going to be a great coach one day. Or maybe and you can kind of start to read people depending on how they're interacting with you, how they're responding to you. We don't want to scare the people that are a little bit more shy. So I just start calling them coach. Maybe I don't say, hey, you would be a great health coach, but I'll say, oh my gosh, you're killing it, coach. And then, they're going to sit and think about that. Like, she called me coach. I wonder what that means. So, or maybe if they are one of those people that are super excited, they have this dynamic personality where they're showing up, talking about program already to people, we want to ask them if they are open to exploring the idea of coaching further. And this could immediately turn into a Coach Explorer, which is really fun. So we can even invite them to Trilogy Zooms, or of course, again, the Coach Explorer call. Okay, so now that we've identified where our clients are in each bucket, now we want to put that down on paper so that we are looking at this every day. So for our frontline clients, we want to make sure they're on that full list there. We want to list everybody out. Some of us might need a couple of pages of this. If you don't know what a map is yet, get with your business partner so that they can explain this to you. This is something that we utilize after we hit senior coach. But we really want to make sure that we're listing out all of our clients on this paper to kind of know where we're at in our business. And so we have, I like how Justin explains this, and you can't really set a GPS for nothing and expect to get somewhere. You really want to make sure you put in the address so you know exactly where you're going. So that's what this map is. So we're going to put in all the people that are our integrated clients, and the people that are ready to explore health coaching. We want to put them down as one of our candidates to explore coaching. These are the people that we are excited to work with. These are the people that would be great business partners. And then of course, in the other box, we want to make sure that we're putting down the people that we are intentionally wanting to reach out to about this program. Okay, and then next, we want to be constantly asking ourselves how we can add value to each bucket, meaning building relationships. That's pretty much all it is we really want to make sure that we're linking arms with these people and building true relationships, making those authentic connections with them. Whether it's of course, we're already talking to them weekly because that's how we're supporting them as clients, but really building a friendship, maybe not just calling them to ask them, hey, how are you doing on 5-in-1? Hey, how's that Lean and Green going? But really asking them, hey, how's the family? How's everything going? And really just build that relationship. Find out what they need, find out what these people need, because that's going to give you big clues as to what it is that they need as far as financial, maybe stress, maybe they're not hurting financially, but maybe they're one of those 6-figure income earners that have no time freedom, like some of us that started. So we really want to make sure that we're either sending them some, fun quotes for the day, maybe not every day, but at least once a week, send them like a cool inspirational quote. You can send them a song. I know that Justin likes to post in our coaching groups inspirational videos, which are really cool because they can even listen to those while they're driving. And then we just want to make sure that we're encouraging them to share their story. Maybe if it's not on social media, but with other people. And maybe we can even get them, uncamera shy by asking them, hey, would you mind doing a Facebook Live with me? It's really fun. I know everybody's into podcasts right now. Maybe we can interview you and share your story live on Facebook and have some fun with this. Then they can kind of start seeing all the people in their world that are looking for this. Okay, and then the integration calls. Okay, this is where we're really going to start integrating our clients into the community. and advance their bucket. So this is where we're going to have those three-way either celebration or tips calls. And we really want to be careful with how we posture these calls. We definitely want to posture them right from the beginning. Something that I do over with our team is when I welcome them into the client support site, hey, healthy family, please welcome so-and-so to the party. Their food is ordered. They're excited for their health journey. I tag Justin too. Justin Avini, this is my friend I was telling you about. I can't wait for you to celebrate them with me. However, as we move forward through their first week, if this person does not seem overly excited, maybe they stepped on the scale too soon, or maybe they swayed from their program, maybe something happened that they're not telling us, and they're going to tell us that, oh, you know, I'm on my first week and I only lost 3 pounds. I only lost 4 pounds. Well, we know any weight loss is a victory, right? They may not think that when they see other people posting, I lost 9, 10, 11 pounds my first week on program. You know, this might be a little bit scary for them. So if they're not, you know, super excited about their first week, maybe we want to call it a tips call. And I hope everybody heard that. Maybe we want to call it a tips call, not a celebration call for their first week. So, okay, great. It's your 1 week weigh-in. You know, we're going to hop on a call. What day, what time works best for you? And then we can offer some tips moving into your second week. It's going to be great. Then we're going to bring in our, you know, our business partner for this call, because that extra layer of support is magic, you guys, because they, again, they don't tell us everything. And it's funny because we can tell them all the stuff that we've learned, everything that we know that they need to know. And they're just like, yeah, 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 yeah. And then as soon as our business partner gets on, they start telling them everything that they didn't tell us. And then we're just sitting there like, oh my gosh, I promise, coach, I promise I told them everything that I was supposed to. Our coach already knows, you guys, so don't feel like you need to explain yourself. This is just what happens. This is just kind of part of it. So just kind of roll with the punches and it's okay. So that third party credibility is super, super powerful. And this is also a teaching tool for us coaches that are learning from that business partner who's doing the celebration for us. Because what we do when we get on this celebration call, we want to make sure that we're introducing and edifying our coach. And just, you know, Justin Avini is my business partner. He's absolutely amazing. He's taught me everything I know. He's helped hundreds and hundreds of people get healthy. So Justin, so-and-so, so-and-so, Justin. And then we want to click mute and just kind of let our business partner take it away moving forward. We don't really want to jump in and start interrupting, because then we distract the call and all that stuff. So let's let the rock star, you know, kind of go. He's going to edify down to, oh, thank you, Desiree. Thank you for the introduction. That was awesome. And then as he goes through the call, he's going to make sure he edifies back, because remember, we want to make sure that we are putting ourselves on the same playing ground, so that that client is giving us the same level of, I guess we can say respect, but we want to make sure that they're viewing us as a professional too. So I don't say my mentor or my coach. I always say my business partner. And I encourage my team, my downline team, to do the same thing, because you guys, we all bought that same $199 coaching kit. So anyway, moving forward, we want us as the learning coach to be listening and taking tons of notes, because this is where you're going to learn how to do this yourself. Because don't forget, one day you're going to be doing this same thing, and you want to be that rock star too. You want to be the person that, you know, knows what questions to ask and knows how to respond to whatever, you know, challenges that this person's having, and asking them, you know, did you feel like you had any challenges this week? Do you feel like, what is your favorite part of this program so far? And help them stay positive, help them really stay positive and find non-scale victories too. The weight loss is the last thing I ask them, you guys. Actually, I ask them, catch me up on your first week, and then let them go through the call. So those are some good tips to know. I'm trying to think if I missed anything. I don't think I did. Justin, did I miss anything? All good? Okay. And then, so team coaching perks, here's just an example of one of those celebration calls, or, you know, just maybe we need to hop in and do a tips call. The goal is to show the support of our community, of our, you know, coaching partners, our business partners. And then we're transferring the skill in real time. Instead of just watching video after video, we really want to make sure that we, as we're learning, are seeing live examples of how these calls go, because they're all different. It's, you know, we can't just watch one video call and think we know how to handle one of these calls, and then all of a sudden a question comes up that we've never heard. So the idea is to make sure we're celebrating every single client, you guys, because this is so important, and this is how we keep our clients long term, because they do have that layer of support, and this is what they signed up for. And for the clients that aren't wanting to get on, we really want to help them understand that this is part of coaching. You know, this is what they signed up for. This is going to help them stay accountable. Otherwise, this is how we start to lose people. Okay, and then the integration call flow. So I know I kind of already went through this and how we introduce, and there's an example if you guys want to take a screenshot of this too. We don't really need to say the rank of the coach because they're not going to know what that means anyway. Then we're just kind of throwing stuff in there, and they're only going to retain 10% of the information we give them. So we just want to make sure that we're not distracting them and we're just sticking to what's most important, and that's them. So the mentor, again, is going to lead the call. They're going to share a little bit of their story so that they can hear the full trilogy, and then, you know, offer them the opportunity to ask questions if they have any. And then we're going to ask that, we're going to ask the client to share their story. Again, catch me up on your journey so far. And then here's an example of some of the questions that the mentor may ask. And you guys, again, take a screenshot so that you have some of these written down. We're not going to go through each and every one of these, but you know, same thing, same stuff that I kind of already mentioned before. And then this is, again, where they're going to kind of tell on themselves and kind of say what they're actually doing so far on their program. And then, of course, the mentor is always going to ask who's noticing. And that is part of the dripping process of coaching. This is where we're going to kind of find out if they're already kind of having some, you know, hints into the coaching opportunity or not. If someone says, oh no, nobody noticed already, and they have this, you know, this long journey to go on, maybe they need to lose 100 pounds or what, you know, whatever it might be. Maybe people aren't really noticing their first week weight loss quite yet. So we don't really want to discourage them by saying, oh, who's noticing? And they're just like, oh, no one. You know, we kind of can start to pick up on some of these hints, but there's other ways to kind of ask different questions. And if I can kind of just share a little bit here too, guys, I know that a lot of clients will say, you know, maybe I might be interested in coaching when I'm further along into my health journey. I have a lot of weight to lose. I want to get to my goal first. If I can just highlight somebody named Joe Otto, I know not everybody here knows who that is, but he's a very dear friend to us and to this community. And he was not afraid to start coaching, you know, early on in his journey. And what he did, there he is, Joe Otto, Justin circling him there. But what he did was he started saying right away, I'm on this incredible journey and I know where I'm going with it and who's coming with me. Hashtag Joe's journey. He was not afraid of not being at his weight loss yet because he knew, he was excited. He knew that it was going to happen. He just wanted to kind of start getting people to come with him along the way. So I loved that every month he had a new current. Maybe not a before and after, but he sure had his before, and each month he was posting a new current. So he had all these side by sides, which was really fun to see. Hashtag Joe's journey.
Boom, guys, boom. So cool. I'm excited. I think, thank you so much, Desiree. So this is one of the funnest things I love to talk about is sponsoring, because if, as you guys kind of saw, you know, you can look in your client base and find clients, right? We talk about the 5 and 1. That's the simplistic way to do it. People that are on program, people that are excited, people that have been supporting other clients, kind of being a coach already, right? So as Desiree said, it's really important when you see that decision, and we'll get into this here in a second, when you see that decision or even that thought process being played with for like 2.7 seconds, I would encourage you guys, one is to offer the coaching to them, ask them to explore. Right from when you first do the health assessment, and like Desiree said, they're stressing out about their job, or they don't know if they have time, or they can't afford this, or whatever that looks like. Offer them, that's the potential possibility. The second thing is when you do your startup call with them, there's another layer there. In the next 2 to 3 weeks, people are going to start to notice. So maybe there's a potential here for you to pay it forward and help them because they know you better, and they'll probably ask you what you're doing on day 2 and day 4 anyways, even though you referred them to Desiree or Justin or Luann or whoever, right? It doesn't matter. So Couple of buckets. We keep talking about buckets, right? And I apologize for these slides because my mouse is having a mind of its own, so bear with me. But we want to acquire clients and we want to support them, right? We want to acquire coaches and we want to support coaches. There's a couple different lists here of how this looks. So we talk about the right side is the right side, okay? So on the left side, we have anybody and everybody. We don't care if they need the program, they don't need the program. They were looking at you funny, doesn't matter. That list is your left-handed list. You're going to write everybody down in your phone, on your Facebook that maybe you've started to connect with, friends outside. I just went to an awesome festival, fall festival with my daughter last night. I already got this mom that was talking to Jenny yesterday. I'm like, wow, I think she'd be a great coach. She seems like a go-getter. So those are people that we want to constantly be looking for as far as the program. But on the right side list, that's where you want to really start to look at who is going to be a potentially good coach, and they're outside your client base, right? So hopefully this works, and it's not working, so we'll just do the mouse. There's coaches in your client base. We talked about that, the 1 in 5, right? For every 5 clients, typically there's one person that's going to show up that, like Desiree said, they're rocking the program, they're doing amazing, they're supporting clients, or maybe they're even wondering where their next food order is going to come from. And sometimes this is a potential for them there, or maybe they just need the community and they want to support their program themselves. They need just about 5 clients to pay for their program. There's coaches outside of that, like I just told you. Our right-handed list are friends and family. You know, I shared this the other day on a team call, but I literally messaged this message out to probably 20 people. I think it was like 17 if we're going to be splitting hairs here. But I just did a coach call with a father yesterday. I found out his name's Dale. Super excited for this guy. He is 360 pounds. He has full custody of his 2 daughters. He's a full-time dad. He's a construction guy. Random, right? I'm a construction guy too. We resonated off the gate. But the thing is, though, he was outside my client list, and I started to look for him and those people, and he's very interested in this because he does work his butt off, and he was sick yesterday. And I used that conversation of, you know what, even if we're sick, we show up to work. We don't have options to not be at work because we have to make sure our baby girls are having their stuff paid for, or they're able to have food on the table, or you're able to put lights on in their house or roof over their head. And he's like, you know what, man, I'm actually sick today and I feel like crap. And I told him, hey, I appreciate you even willing to get on this call, because sometimes we don't know what's on the other side of the fence. And his verbiage was, you know, I don't know if God was answering this in a mysterious way, but when I messaged him that night, the night before, he was praying for better health and better finances. So make sure that we're on that path of who in our friends and who in our family can we put on this list outside of client base, even people that you don't think are going to want to do this. I had family members on my list that they didn't even think they were going to do this, and that's okay. But the thing is if you love on them, you find out who they are, you start to you know, layer them or drip on them lovingly, right? Love them where they're at. And then people outside, like I said, this guy, I don't even know him, and I found him. So who are we looking for? These are important things, guys. And one of the things I will encourage you to look at is really pay attention, identify their needs, right? We want to make sure that when we're identifying their needs, it's things that make sense. Sometimes when we identify things, we need to pay attention to the outside surroundings of what's going on with this particular person. You know, especially on Facebook, you know, we could talk about friends or family or people that, you know, you see when you run into at the store or something, but on Facebook, look at their network, see where they're at, qualify them, their attributes, right? And we'll get into some of those things here in a second, and then approach and explore. A lot of times, I just shared this with a coach yesterday. I think it was Beverly I was sharing with, and I said, you know what? We want to make sure that even though we're going through these motions, we're offering the coaching. We're inviting them into this call. Sometimes we give them all this information and we're like, okay, awesome. Let me know whenever you're ready. But instead of saying, hey, are you interested in exploring coaching? Do it right then and there. If they're excited, if they're even like 1% thinking about it, ask them. Because a lot of times we go through all these motions and we kind of leave it so vague at the end, and there's no response. Mentally, we're like, okay, they're not really interested. Did we directly ask them? When somebody comes over, when the internet guy was here yesterday, did I say, hey, bro, you want some water? I didn't say, hey, if you're thirsty, maybe, keep me posted. I said, hey, man, you want some water? You thirsty? Right? Same thing. Invite them in when there's that opportunity. So who are we looking for, right? Teachers, nurses, social workers, therapists, pastors, people with warm hearts, right? Pastors have big followings, right? Stay-at-home mothers and fathers. We got the David Harrisons of the world. People who are life of the party. We got Robert Avila on here, right? I can name everybody off based on their realities. Team captains during athletic groups. There's a Larry Reeves. I just talked to him. I went to Utah on Sundance. He was very into sports. He is going to eventually be a coach. He's got 7 kids. He's got another on the way, 8 kids. And he literally said, man, I got to make another $10,000 a year every time I have a kid. I said, well, how about we make $10,000 a month and let's just get this out of the way. And he started laughing. But he was an athletic guy, right? Leader and director of sales, companies, gym owners, like we said over here, business owners, bloggers, things like that, photography. There's people that have their home-based businesses. I have 2 ladies I'm talking to right now. They do a lot of photography, but they're one-on-one, right? What is the difference with our business? We're equity, right? You can build this with momentum. These guys got to show up unless they're going to start to pay employees and do things like that. And stuff like this can get expensive. I don't know why this decided to do that, but we'll just go with it. So, and then on the client side, we talked about true to program, ambitious, accountable, attractive personality, self-motivated, successful in other areas, referring others, large sphere of influence, love helping other people, generous. Boy, this thing's really breaking it down. So here's the invite, right? We talked about, I think you would be amazing. Would you be open to exploring? This is really the invite, guys. If we go through all this work and we leave it vague, guess what? You're going to get a vague answer, and guess what you're going to do in your head? And we're going to talk about this for a second. You're going to go to that space of negativity. Human nature, unfortunately, with the world today and how Optavia is geared and why we think it's so wonderful is we don't go to the negative space. And it's not your fault. Remember that. It's not your fault. One of the things I was always shared with is it's not your fault how you were raised, but it's your responsibility as an adult to fix it. So in this aspect, what we're looking at here is we want to invite them in. If you're giving a vague answer and you get a vague response back, your immediate answer is, oh my God, they're not interested in doing coaching. They're not interested even in the program because you gave a vague answer. We talk about, are you serious with being a health coach? Well, you'll get a serious response. If you're kind of whatever with being a health coach, you get a whatever response. But the most important part is where does our mindset go with that, right? Oh, these people just aren't interested. Well, how interested are you in coaching? Are you just kind of doing it or are you being it? There's a big difference here. So invite people in, guys. When you, like I said, if there's 1% of a, yeah, kind of thinking about it, okay, great. Hey, you know what? My coach, honestly, he's been doing this so much longer than I have. And when he got me on and I was able to explore with him what was possible for me financially, less stress, you just talked about you have 2 kids or 3 kids and your husband works so many hours and you try to work and it kind of only pays for them to go to daycare and it just doesn't make sense. Dude, my coach, when we got on, he went through all this stuff with me. So I'd love to explore with you. Or would you take 20 minutes to just explore what health coaching looks like and see if it's a fit for you? That way you really understand what you're looking at, instead of kind of thinking about what you're looking at. Because a lot of times they think they know, even though they don't know. So invite them in. Make it a point to be more specific, and you'll get more specific results and more specific answers. So we talked about this rule, right? Desiree kind of shared with this. So for every 4 to 5 clients, there's a health coach in there. That's just the law of numbers, guys. That is just the law of numbers. We don't know how it works, why it works, but that's what it is. For the last 6.5 years, I've done this. And for the last 18 years, Dr. A's done this. That's just the rhythm of it. 5 to 9 clients, there's 2 health coaching partners. 10 to 15, there's 3 health coaching partners, so on and so forth, and moving up, right? Here's the thing. This is a blended executive director group, right? We're shooting for blended executive directors. We do this. Right around this particular area right here, you're already a blended executive director. Just so you guys know, you're earning about $2,200 a month. That's a pretty decent income for really only 10 to 15 people It's actually closer to 17. Let's be real. And then this right here is 3 health coaches. I mean, you're actually closer to making a solid about $2,800 a month, because not only are you executive director by yourself, but now you're bringing on coaching partners and you're supporting them. And one of the beautiful things I love about this is we don't get paid on just bringing coaches on. We get paid when we help somebody else's life be influenced or supported by more financial freedom. And that's where you really start to see the magic happen. And you create time freedom. We can go work and support 40 clients, 50 clients, sure. But do you want to have that time with your kids? Or do you want to go from one job to another job, right? The more clients you have, yes, you can have a great funnel and you can manage a certain amount. But when you start to get it up above there, then it starts becoming this circle of basically a rat race like we do with a regular job. And we don't want that. So the equity side is where coaches are at. And the supported side of time is where coaches are at. Not getting people, but finding those people that are ready to coach. We talked a little bit about this. Mindset. 95% of our effectiveness is sponsoring is direct result of what's in our mind. And I just told you that. If we're kind of iffy about inviting somebody, if we're kind of very vague about when they're ready to do this, instead of just asking them. It's a silly analogy, or not even an analogy. It's what I said yesterday. Hey, internet guy, or Frank, his name's Frank. Hey, you want a glass of water? You thirsty? Hey, man, I don't know if you're parched or not, or if you're maybe thirsty, but just let you know we have water. What kind is that? Okay, that kind of feels weird. So maybe I won't ask for water. I mean, think about that, right? So what's the mindset, guys? Hey, man, you thirsty? You want some water? Simple. So here's where we talk about who is OptiVia pretty much for everyone. Like I said, we really need to understand where our clients are and where our coaches are. Some clients need more community. Some coaches need more community. Some coaches want to work with, 8 to 10 clients, and that's where they're at. That's fine. Some people want to build huge businesses, but right here is our funnel. The bigger the funnel, the higher the opportunity we have to, okay, well, let's just go ahead and do that too. The higher opportunity we have to find more coaches if we talk about the 5-in-1. But the real magic is this funnel can actually be who's in your life. I don't know if you guys follow Grant Cardone or not, and maybe you don't like him, maybe you do like him. It doesn't matter. What he said makes sense. Who is the most successful people? It's not who's the best salesman. It's not who's the best talker. It's, you're really good at that, Justin. I could never do that. It's who is your pipeline? Who is in front of you? Who are you talking to on a daily basis? And this is even outside your client base. We got John, who's a trucker. He's out in front of people every day. We got Jennifer, who's a mom, who's a hustler, right? We got Luann, who's out. She's going to these concerts and these events. The bigger funnel of what we talk about with OptiVia, the bigger funnel of what we believe in with this business and who we're currently talking to every day, right? These are the things that are going to make this magic. Even in your client base, like Desiree said, don't just make it about the program. Hey, how's the family? Hey, how's everything going? How are you feeling today? Because if you just get on, hey, man, just want to check in, see how program's going. Not so well. Okay, well, I'll check back with you because, that's what my coach told me to do is, get in, get out, don't waste too much time. But it can be different. If you see that person pushing back or falling away, maybe they do need the community. Maybe they do need the coaching opportunity. Maybe they do need more support from you in a different direction. Hey, man, how's the family? I think John's on here. Is it John or Mark? I apologize. I think it's Mark. Mark, a lot of fires are up in his area. Maybe I'm misspeaking on who it is, but there's a lot of fires up in his area, man. We got to love on those people. They're in a bad spot right now, right? So we've had coaches that have had fires. I know Karen Wagner. I'm not going to call up and say, hey, how's your business going? Why would we do that? That's inhuman, right? But sometimes, and it's not a bad thing, but sometimes we mishear what's going on with building these relationships. And then, well, they're just not doing the business. So I'm going to check out. I'm going unplugged here a little bit, guys, because we really need to understand this. Check in with them. It ain't that weak to say, hey, how's business going? You could say, hey, I can support your clients. I know a lot of stuff's going on. There's a lot of devastation. If you don't have internet or water or whatever, we would love to help you. Let me know. That's where our relationship starts at a different level. And those are exaggerations. Obviously, that doesn't happen all the time. A lot of stuff going on right now, the Bahamas thing. But what I'm saying is start to build those relationships, guys, because at the end of the day, when you reach back out for help, they're going to want to help you too. And that's where the human life is, right? That's what we want to do. And that's the creation Dr. A is talking about. So anybody and everybody can use coaching. This is a client funnel here, but it also can be a personal funnel on a day-to-day basis out in your open world. You're looking for people that are open-minded too. If people are giving you a closed-minded shot at this, then leave them alone. Don't try to break them in, or you know better, or the back and forth and what's right and what's wrong and where's this and that. They're just not there. Where were you? Where were you when you started? You were closed-minded, right? It's okay. It's me. Hey, I can get a 6-pack on my own. I don't need spaceship food, right? Why do I need to do this program? I don't need spaceship food. I could talk to people. They'll follow me. I was closed-minded too in a different direction. Desiree was a real estate agent. She was doing it for a friend. She wanted nothing to do with this, right? My Aunt Joy, a 6-figure income earner. She'd come over, that's good for you. That's a good program, kind of would talk about it a little bit, but had a mild version of closed-mindedness. We all had it. So what you want to do is mentally, like I said, coming from Sundance, why do we want to defeat ourselves already? Remember where we came from. Remember things that we have done. What took us so long to get here? Why we had to jump through those hoops. And then when we make the decision to be a coach, why isn't everybody else just coaching right now? I don't understand it. My 6-8 months, 5 years, 2 minutes, 8 years, I don't understand it. Why are they just not wanting to be ready? Right? So there is that closed-mindedness, but you got to learn to open that up. You got to learn to say, hey, you know what? It took me 7 months to show up. I didn't want to do this program, but I'll tell you what, when my boss got pissed at me one last too many times and I didn't really do anything wrong, guess who I thought of? My coach. So yeah, it took me about 7 months to show up. So I totally hear you, man. But I just wanted to share this opportunity with you and maybe see if you're interested in exploring coaching and see what that looks like. So be willing to move on, right? Like I said, if they're not interested right now, it's never a no. It's just a not right now. I love a coach. I was on a call the other day, yesterday, whenever it was, I don't remember. She was so excited because one of her family members was ready to go and it took a year. And that family member told her, no, not going to do the program. Well, guess what? A year later, they're ready to rock and roll. So how cool is that, right? Move on, but just never think that it's going to be a waste of time. Leave them be, let them understand it, and you don't have to worry about it so much, because it mentally defeats us when we're sitting there constantly revolving around these 5 people. There is thousands of people out there to go help. In the meantime, while Justin Avini was taking 7 months to show up, Jamil didn't just sit there and say, I'm going to focus on this dude. He moved on. Respectfully, we're numbers. At the end of the day, we're numbers, not in a rude way, not as you go to a clinic and you're number 463, but you're a person that needs to take time to evolve. So be willing to move on. Don't be so attached to that. And if you move on faster and you find more people, you'll find more success and you'll balance your own life and you impact a lot more people. So I love this boot camp today, guys. Here's the call to action. If you guys can screenshot this, this is what I would suggest doing. And for some of you guys who aren't really 100% on Facebook yet, that's okay. Work with your mentors. So the 5x5x5, right? Keeping that funnel flowing of clients. And also, start branching out to those 1 or 2 people that you want to really start to work with as far as being a health coach, right? Get a whiteboard. I have a whiteboard up here that I want to use and work with people. Identify at least 75 people on your list, right? Here's the thing. Who was it? Tiffany Howard, I think it was. Maybe it wasn't. But it doesn't matter. Point is she went on her Facebook and she really started to look at all the people that she wanted to partner with. And maybe it was because they were a mom. Maybe it was because they had a good sphere of influence. Maybe because, like I said, all these things we talked about, we wanted to be able to put them on our list. A lot of times we start out with our phone list. And once again, it's mindset. Well, I've just gone through everybody in my phone, so I can't make a list. Oh, okay. Well, she gave a great example of that. Go to your Facebook. Write down 75 people off your Facebook that you want to reach out to. And guess what? They don't have to necessarily be directly on your news feed. They can be people that are friends of friends. I go into groups that I love to be in. maybe not. You guys have seen, I just purchased a fun toy. I'm in that group now. Why am I in that group? Because it's a like-mindedness of a hobby, right? I'm already friending these certain people. I'm asking questions. I'm engaging these conversations. I have lists of different people that I'm going to start messaging because I'm going to build those relationships. So this list doesn't need to just come from your phone. You can find other people out there, or even in your influence. You go to your local grocery store. I got these two ladies up here at the grocery store I want to put on my list because I noticed they look like somebody that would have a great sphere of influence. If they do already, maybe they do, maybe they don't. But their bubbliness and how they approach people and how they talk to people is what I know will attract that if they're interested in this program or business. And I'll eventually ask them, right? So that's how we work. Approach 2 to 5 people per day. I plus Q equals A. Something I will share with you guys. Please do yourselves a favor, and I'm going to word this in an interesting way. When you identify, qualify, approach, make sure you look at these people's surroundings too, right? We want to help people by all means. And the most respectful way to say this is make sure that they're in a spot where they want to be helped, if that makes sense. And I'll leave it with that. Sometimes we dive into somebody that we're just so passionate about that maybe they're just not in that space yet, right? And we spend too much time on them. Find those people, like I said, that have a big sphere of influence. We need to stabilize our own business. One of the things I'd love to share with you is, and it's a silly analogy, but it makes sense. What do we do when we're on an airplane and we're getting ready to take off? They go through the checklist of survival. Make sure your seatbelts are fastened. In a case of an emergency, you put your life vest on yourself first. You put your oxygen mask on yourself first. When we identify, qualify, approach based on our goals, we want to find those really strong business partners for us that want to have big businesses first, to stabilize our own finances first. Then if we go identify, qualify, approach people that maybe need more time of loving, maybe they need just your support, maybe they just need your community. You can afford to breathe your own oxygen before you give them a mask, if that makes sense. I hope that was clear in what I said. I'm not saying to not offer this to everybody, but sometimes we identify people that we want to help and they're sometimes not in that space, right? So just want to make sure I said that as nicely as I could. Clean up any messy clients and support protocol. Guys, please do yourselves a favor. My client doesn't want to get on a 3-way call. Well, how do you feel about that 3-way call? Are you kind of iffy about that 3-way call? Do you really not like them? Because most of the time, they don't know what they don't know. You know what I love about my 2 daughters? They don't know what they don't know. If I tell my daughters, man, she's scared, guess what she's going to start to think? Man, I'm scared. Man, my daughter, she just doesn't know how to do this. Well, she's 5 or 4.5, 6 months. Maybe she will. But if I keep telling her she can't, guess what she's going to believe? Same thing with clients, guys. They don't know the cadence of our program. They don't know that we're supposed to do 3-way calls or do or don't. So if you approach them with this of like, well, you can kind of get on these 3-way calls and you can kind of do this. Who are we? What are we doing? We do iffy things. We get iffy responses. And then it goes back to the monkey mind. They don't want to get on the calls. They don't want to sign up even, right? This is going off the topic a little bit, but a roundabout with what you're doing. They don't know what this program offers. They don't know how it's structured. Hey man, like Desiree said, and she tags me all the time, I'm really excited to get on a call with Justin, my mentor coach, on week 1. That is what it is, right? Hey, Charlotte, I want you to go try and do this. I know it's a little tough right now, but I know you can do it. Go try it again. Not, well, she tried. Maybe it's just not her thing, right? You see what I'm saying here? And those are silly thoughts, but it's really true. What we put in front of us, what we believe into people is what they're going to believe. So do yourselves a favor. Make sure you're sending out the 1 through 8 text messages. Make sure you're verbally checking in with these guys the first 4 days, not a text message, not anything like that. Make sure you're telling them about the celebration calls. Make sure you're telling them it's a video call. We want to be personable. We love the passion of seeing your face, seeing your warm, bubbly smile, seeing the success of you losing weight over the next few months. That's why we love doing these video calls. So I'm excited to get you on with my coach. Or, hey, you would be amazing at coaching. you have all these attributes, you're killing program, or I see you on Facebook, you look amazing at what you do, you look like so bubbly and warm to people, I think you'd be amazing as a health coach. I'd love to get you on a call with my coach. This is how we do it. So just all these different ideas, guys, really think about what that looks like. If you haven't already filled out your map and completed it, make sure that you guys are doing that. If you're a brand new coach and you're under senior coach, you probably haven't seen it, so that's not your fault. Your mentor is right on track with where you're supposed to be. You don't need it just yet, but you can still put a list together of people you potentially want to have. We talk about the left-handed list, anybody and everybody, and our right-handed list is looking for those people that we want to support and work with as business partners and want to make sure it's great. So left and right-handed list, you can still have those, but the map is really a game changer once you get into senior coach. So I'm excited. I think this is great. Man, we finished 4 minutes early. How excited are you guys to go tackle the world? We good? I love it. We got Lucy out there. We got Jeanette out there. Awesome. Jeanette, you got amazing snow on the ground. I'm a little jealous. We're going to have to do a healthy happy hour at your house. Road trip. So anyways, guys, I hope this was helpful. I hope this made sense. Appreciate you guys all getting on. It is a Saturday and you're up early. I commend you for that because that's a big thing. You made the decision to get on, right? So I'm excited for you guys. Please pay attention to what I just said, though. Sponsoring coaches isn't just to get people. A lot of us think, I don't want to talk to people because I'm just going to have my clients and this is my business and that's how I want to do it. You're hindering and you're hurting yourself long-term. I'm going to share something with you that's kind of scary and you may or may not like it. Coaches that run a high frontline volume without any coaching partners only last about 2 years in this business. You will burn yourself out. That came from Sundance statistics. Okay. So if you want to have time freedom, if you want to start to build an equity business, you need to start sponsoring coaches. This is why the blended boot camp's important. Not getting people. Man, if I can just get this guy, he'd be great. Great. Let him decide when he's going to be great. Next, move on. You will find those people in your client base and your coaching base. That dad out there that I don't even know needs coaching. I didn't get him. He's going to need coaching. He's sick. He's 360 pounds. He's got 2 beautiful kids that he has full custody of. He don't have a choice. When he said he has full custody of them, that sounds like there's an issue on the other end, right? So it's not like he can just part-time it or whatever. He had to go to work when he was sick. There is people out there that need this. Don't be selfish. Desiree, do you have anything else you want to say?
Just lastly, I know that there's a lot of nervousness when it comes to sponsoring or offering the coaching opportunity. And my best advice, you guys, is to literally just stop trying to get people. I know that we say we're not trying to get people, we're not trying to get people. We're trying to do it this way. Really, mentally, when you think about it, are we trying to get people? Ask yourself that question. And instead, build those authentic connections like we talk about. Make friends, make yourself popular again. That's why we live out loud on social media. That's why every time somebody drops a comment in one of our posts or likes one of our posts, we start a conversation with them. If it never goes to talking about program, that's fine. But continue that conversation, even if it takes a couple of weeks, a couple of months, because you're remaking friends with these people, or maybe it's a brand new person. But just truly be authentic, truly have conversations, truly invite people out to coffee. And if you never talk about program at all, that's okay. But really, truly just stop trying to get people. And that's when people will start to trust you. That is when you're cultivating that trust. That is when they want to work with you and they want to know what you're doing. Because if you're looking at people with dollar signs in your eyes, they know it. That's all.
Yeah, mic drop. Cool, man. I'm excited. And to be honest with you, and I'm not picking there's only 4 that have the videos off, and there's probably a good reason. But I just think it's so awesome that you guys are all on video today. You guys got to give yourselves credit, man. Because I tried to put my makeup on in time. My eyelashes were a little crooked, but we all got on. We all made it happen. Congratulations to you guys. You guys got to give yourselves credit. 6 a.m., some of you East Coasters, you got lucky, or Midwest, or whatever you want to, I don't know what you call it. But be proud of yourselves. Give yourselves grace. One of the biggest things I took away from Sundance is sometimes we don't give ourselves enough credit. We're so head dove into what's going on that we don't take a second to sit there and stop and smell the roses. You guys are on these boot camps. You guys are making it happen. You guys are working with people. You do know I want you guys to hear me. You do know what you're talking about. This is not hard. Did you guys lose weight? Raise your hand if you guys lost weight. Right? Did you lose 5, 6, 10, 20 pounds, right? We all lost that. Did you guys follow the program? You think you can go tell somebody else how to do that? Then you guys know how to teach the program, right? You do know what you're talking about. Remember that. A lot of times we get in our head, I got 8 clients. Like, I'm fumbling. It's okay. You guys know what you're talking about. Well, I don't know how to coach a coach. Well, what did you do on day 1? Well, I ordered my kit. Well, there's a good start, right? What did I do next? Well, I was introduced to this messenger group. Okay, well, you think you should put your coach in a messenger group? Yeah. Okay, great. Were you celebrated on the client page and the coach page? Yeah. Okay, that's probably a next step. What else happened? Well, they gave me a couple of links to check out. Okay, great. So what do you think you should do with your coach? Slow down, take a minute to see that you already know what you're doing. That's important to know. You guys have a blessed day. Happy Halloween. What's the date? 26th. Yeah, I didn't even get a costume. I got a Newport sweater on. We're good. But we'll talk to you guys soon. Have a blessed day. All right. Thanks, Desiree, for helping.